Hello and welcome back to the Real Estate Regroup Show. I am your host, LJ Walker. Today I'm here to address the issue of the California wildfires that's going on. Now, California has had a number of wildfires in the past, but from my understanding, this has to be the worst in my lifetime that I've ever seen or experienced. Okay. So what I've done is, yes, I do have other videos that I talk about, fire prevention and what to do, but you could say I've added a little bit more. Most of this information actually came from the fire movement. So what does the fire movement represent? It is the financial independence, retire early people. Now, as many of you know, I'm not 100% sold on their philosophy on how to achieve it, reach it, and maintain it. However, there are certain things that I do agree with. And since they have shared their resources, and I know that everybody who listens to me is not on that particular site, I figured I would come here and share what to do if, number one, your house has already burnt down, or number two, if you have been told to evacuate. Okay, so one of the things that I think many of you should know, and some of you probably already know, is that Airbnb is offering some free places to stay in case you have been a victim where your house is actually burnt down. So that would probably be one of the first places that you want to call. The next thing is, let's say you have insurance, right? There is a company called ALE Solutions, and what they do is they place people whose homes have been burnt down, flooded out, etc. They place them in homes. My home is one of them. For the first 4 months, I was collecting money from the insurance company to place the people in my home. Now, those people are paying me directly. So far, so good. All right. Now, my tip to anybody who wants to be an insurance housing provider like myself, it's not the same as Airbnb, meaning you don't want to have too much furniture or too much things in there like I have. You, for example, one couch, one bed, and maybe a TV. Most people don't even look at the TV anymore. They have their own computer. So they're looking at YouTube and Instagram and TikTok. Anyway, pots and pans, a lot of times, that's one of the things that people save, or at least the guys that are living in my property save. So all those pots and pans I have up there, it appears to be a waste of money because they came with their own. All right. That was one of the things that they managed to save when they were escaping their building. All right. Because their building burnt down to the ground, unfortunately. And they're basically here waiting for their apartment building to be built back up, to be reconstructed. All right. They were told, oh, it would only take 4 months. Well, in March, it'll be a year. The guys are still here. And they probably will be here in March. So whatever time frame they tell you that it's going to take to rebuild your property, add a couple more months to that, just so you know. Okay, moving along. The next thing is you can go to disasterassistance.gov. That will list a number of shelters and local agencies that are available to you. And then it also has the local FEMA there. I suppose that really is more for people who have no insurance at all. Okay. So that's basically what you want to do when it comes to finding shelter. Now, the next thing is insurance. It doesn't really surprise me that some people, their insurance has already dropped them. Some were dropped before the wildfires even started. I'm not really clear on why that is, but the reason why I say that doesn't shock me is because I had a sewage backup. That's right, the city sewage backed up into my house. My insurance paid, but then afterwards they dropped me. But guess what? They came back like 8 years later and said, well, we noticed that you haven't had a problem. But they're trying to blame it on me when it's actually the city's issue and the city had to take care of it because the city, there was a block that was a cement block that they had in front of the pipes. And all of the pipes, unfortunately, for the sewage end in front of my house. But I didn't know that when I bought the property. Yes, I had somebody inspect the house, but they inspect the house. They don't go underground. And we didn't know until it happened. Years later, 7 years later. That's right. I was a client. I'm not going to say the insurance company's name, but I was a client of theirs for 7 years, didn't have a problem until one day, boop. All right. So, yeah, I'm not surprised that they did that to you guys. I'm sorry that they did, but unfortunately, that's how some insurance companies are. But you still should call them and let them know that your house burnt down. Okay. Now, where can you get help? You can get help from a public adjuster. And a lot of times they said that the public adjuster will give you more money and have your insurance pay you more than if you were to just go and do that yourself. As a matter of fact, I went to more than one quote unquote fire forums and found this information out. So I'm sharing this with you. Now, there is another company for those of you who don't have money to pay for a public adjuster. You do have a company called uphelp.org, which is a nonprofit organization that also can assist you with insurance, with getting the insurance companies to pay you the amount of money that you deserve, and also to prevent them or fight against them for dropping you altogether. All right. And then, of course, many of you know I'm with Prepaid Legal. So if you are interested, you can definitely contact me and I can get the ball rolling and you can sign up with them and they can fight for you as far as your insurance is concerned. Or if you already have it, I would definitely say contact them and let them know, hey, my house burnt down, my insurance company dropped me, and I don't know why. And of course, they're not giving you the money back that you already paid them. You know, that is wild to me. But yes, that unfortunately does happen. Okay, so what else do you need to do? The next thing you should definitely do is get yourself a P.O. box and have all your mail forwarded there. Because if were in a house, your mailbox was probably in front of your house, that probably burnt down. If you were in a building, an apartment building, 9 times out of 10, your mailbox is inside of your building. So that burnt down as well. So get yourself a P.O. box from the post office, or if you want to get fancy, go to UPS and get one there, or go to iPostal, pay a little bit more, go to iPostal and get one set up and have all your mail forwarded there. So that this way, at least you are still in communication with whoever it is that you need to be in communication with. You know, think about also all of your packages and things of that nature. That's why you definitely want to have a P.O. box set up. All right. The next thing is you want to call your utility companies and have them freeze your service. There's no more house. You shouldn't have to pay for electricity for the month of January if your house burnt down yesterday, which was January 11th at this time that I'm making the video. Okay? So definitely call your utility companies, your water, your light, your gas, your internet, everybody. Call them and have the service canceled. Cancel all of your subscriptions to everything. Go through your email and whatever you're subscribed to, cancel that as well. You want to also call your mortgage company, because guess what? You're still responsible for the mortgage, even though your house is not there. I'm sorry to tell you this, but it's the facts. And if you don't pay, they'll foreclose on you. And you might say, well, what are they going to foreclose? The house is burnt to the ground. Yeah, but that foreclosure does go on your credit. And it can mess you up credit-wise. So what the mortgage company can do for you is the following. They can either defer your payments or forbear your payments. You know, they can cancel out any late fees because of what has happened, whether you decide to rebuild or you don't. You want to definitely call your mortgage company so that they don't foreclose on you. You know, don't assume that because you're in California that they know that your house burnt down. They might not necessarily be sure exactly where you are. Because I have friends that are actually there right now, and their house actually did not burn down, but they were issued an evacuation, and they're kind of wondering whether or not they should evacuate, or, you know, because they're wondering if people are putting 20 on 10 or if they should stay and hold off. So guys, that's why I'm saying to you, that's why I said, let me make this video, because of what's going on out there. Now, the other thing is, when you call your insurance company, they're going to want to make you write down, they're going to say to you, write down everything that you've lost. Okay. Because you're in an emotional state, you might not remember everything. Or you might be one of those people that say, oh, I'm only going to write down the big items. No, write down every single thing. And when you write it down, be descriptive. So, for example, if you lost a TV, don't just write down TV. Write down Sony 50-inch flat screen TV. That is if it's a Sony. I'm not telling you to lie. I'm just saying, you know, whatever type of TV it is, however huge it is, whatever, you want to write that down. Because if you just write down TV and just leave it at that, then here's what the insurance companies do. They'll go to the outlet store and price the TV. And you know, the outlet stores are probably cheaper than where you actually bought your TV. They're going to go there and they're going to say, oh, the price of a TV is $50. We're going to take 10% off of the $50, and that's what they're going to give you. Meanwhile, you probably spent maybe, $300 on that TV. Even if you had it for a while, you know, still, that's why I'm saying be very descriptive of the items that you lost. You know, say, you know, was it top of the line? If it was top of the line, right, top of the line. Okay. Like I have a top of the line table that has scrolls and everything like that on it. You want to write all of that down. I have a foosball table. Okay. So I'm not going to write down just table. I'm going to write down foosball table. It has 8 games that I can play on that. I'm writing all of that in the description, you know. And of course, if you run out of room on the forms that they give you, you should have paper, and you can, if you ran out of paper because it all burnt down, you can go to the 99, well, It's now the $1.25 store, and get you a pad and write all of that other stuff down. Okay, as far as what you're missing. Now, the other thing is I have Quicken software. There's other bookkeeping software out there. You can visit that when you go to your job, or if you go to some libraries are free and they have free computers there. Some churches also have free computers. You can also go to some of the makeshift workplaces where they have computers. Now those places are not free. You do have to pay. But you would basically go there, log into your accounting bookkeeping software, and if you have your 9 times out of 10 you have your bank accounts linked to it, you have your credit cards linked to it. And from there, I would definitely go through that to see where you spent money. Because sometimes, believe it or not, we forget what we spend our money on. Why do I say this? Because you have some things that when you go to that room, everything is right there and you can see it. But then, you have stuff in your cupboards, in your closets that you forget that you have. And then you don't write it down on your insurance claim. Don't do that. That's why I'm saying go through your bookkeeping software, if you have it, to see where you spent your money. Some of you also may have an app called Receipt Hog, where you've taken pictures of all of your receipts, because you might not pay everything with a credit card or a check. You might use cash sometimes. So go through those apps like Receipt Hog and see where you spent money and write that down on your insurance claim. The other thing too you want to go through is your phone. You want to go through, if you've listened to my previous video, the cloud, because I mentioned taking pictures. And this is what some of you need to do if you've been told to evacuate. If you've been told to evacuate, I want you to put my video on pause and take a picture of every room in your house. Not just one picture. Take 3 pictures from 3 different angles. Actually, take 4 pictures from 4 different angles of each room in your house. Because again, we forget. Upload that to the cloud. Go through the cloud. When you log into those computers, go to, whatever cloud service you use, OneDrive or whatever. Go through those pictures and write down anything you forgot to write down. Even down to the candelabra, even down to the decorations, even down to the pictures you have hanging on the wall, the chandeliers you have hanging in the room. Write it all down and write it all descriptively. And they like it when you send in pictures too, because then that's proof of what the house looked like before. All your pots, all your vases, write it all down. All your vacuum cleaners, all your brooms, write it all down. Even if you don't have a receipt for it, you got a picture that proves that that is what you had. All of your plates, glasses, cups, mugs, write it all down. Okay. The other thing is your phone, of course. Your phone may have some pictures of you in the house, pictures of your family in the house, of all the rugs that you have in the house. They know that you're not lying. They know that you're not exaggerating because it's in the picture. Write it down, though. Write it down. Okay? The next thing, I don't know if I mentioned, by the way, you can claim all of this on your taxes. All right, just so that you know. Now, the other thing is, for those of you, Oh, yes, grab your flash drives. Make sure you have that. You don't want to leave your flash drives in your house. You want to take that with you. You also want to take, some of you may have a fireproof, waterproof box that has important papers. If you've been told to evacuate, take that, because I've been told that these fires will even eat up those particular fireproof boxes. They say that they normally can withhold a fire for maybe like 90 minutes, but because these fires are so strong and last so long, that those fireproof boxes will probably be melted, and your paper that's inside the box, forget about it. They'll disintegrate. Okay, so take those fireproof boxes. Also, take any fireproof, waterproof bags that you have. Take that with you as well. When you are a mortgage note investor like myself, or a private lender like myself, that paperwork is your money. Most people don't know. Even thieves that come and break into your house, they don't even know. That's where the money is. It's in the paper. If that paper is gone, so is your money. Your money is gone. That's why you need to have that stuff in fireproof, waterproof bags. Okay? So you want to take that with you if you're being told to evacuate. All right, along with whatever clothes that you can save. Even your dirty clothes, they say, because wherever you go to, wherever you escape to, you can always do laundry. So don't say, okay, I'm going to leave those clothes right there and then pick those up too and pack them in your car or whatever. Okay? That is what they have definitely mentioned. Now, the other thing that I wanted to mention is this. Some of you might not have insurance. Many of Americans, they don't believe in homeowners insurance at all. So they don't have insurance on their house. And I know some of them live in California too. So what do you do in that particular case? There are fire restoration companies, but right now it's a little too early for them because we don't know how California is going to move this way, since like streets and boulevards and all of that are gone. We don't know what steps they're going to take. We don't know what they're going to do. Okay. But that's what some people do. Some people will partner with other investors. These are contractors that will rebuild your home. And because they'll rebuild your home, whenever you sell it, they want to have maybe like half or more than half. Some of them will approach you. Please be careful with that though. As a matter of fact, I was told that you also sometimes during this particular time, there are lawyers at gas stations, ambulance chasers, if you will, that will put contracts in front of your face. Now is not the time to fill out a contract. Now is not the time to sign any contract whatsoever. You don't know what you're signing away because you're too distraught. Let's be honest. Many of us don't read. We just listen to what somebody says. They sweet talk us into doing X, Y, and Z. And so we go forward with it, sometimes without even reading the paperwork. We got to stop doing that. That's number one. Number two, even if we do read, sometimes we read the first paragraph and we're done. No. Sometimes we skim through it. But honestly, when it comes to retaining information, you have to be alert and you have to be calm when you're reading. You can't have any, be under distress and try to read and think that you understand everything. You're going to miss a couple of things. Give the contract to your lawyer. Again, I'm with prepaid legal. If you have prepaid legal, this is what you use the service for. Give that contract to them. Let them read it. Sometimes information is missing in some of these contracts, and you assume something, and they know that you're going to make that assumption, and they're going to do something completely opposite of what you expected the other people, the other party to do. I don't care if they offer you free breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Do not sign anything until your lawyer reads it and gets back to you. And don't let them pressure you, because sometimes they're like, well, this is due on such a date. They can wait. They can wait. And if it comes to them making any money, they will wait. Do not be in a hurry at this particular time. Okay, guys? So listen, we are praying for you. There's people out here praying for you, California. And we know that you will get through this. We know this is rough, but we know you will get through this. We're counting on you. And we have nothing but hope right now. We might not be able to see, but we just know. Well, I know. I'll just say, let me make this personal. I know that it will be better. I don't know when, but I know that it will be better for all of you, for all of us. We're counting on you. Let me make it personal. I'm counting on you guys. All right. So that's all I have to share. Please feel free. Again, guys, share this amongst your friends. Remember, each one, reach one, teach one. Bye for now. Until next time, have a good night.